I refused to go to a stranger's wedding and Rachel made me feel like the worst person alive for it. I was 19 when my mom's best friend Rachel invited me to her daughter Ellen's wedding. The thing is, I barely knew Ellen. I'd met her maybe 3 or 4 times in my entire life. We weren't close, we weren't even really acquainted. So when Rachel started listing off 100 names of people I'd never met, I did something honest. I told her the truth. I said I'd be extremely uncomfortable in a massive crowd of strangers for hours straight. My mom understood immediately. She knew I struggle in big social situations. She was cool with it. But Rachel wasn't. She started pushing back hard, making excuses for why I absolutely had to go. She said my mom would be there as if that somehow fixed everything. She said I'd disappoint Ellen. I pushed back and said, look, Ellen and I aren't even friends. We barely know each other. I highly doubt she's sitting around hoping the random 19-year-old kid she's met a handful of times shows up to her wedding. That's when Rachel snapped. We got into a real argument right there in front of my mom, voices rising, tension choking the room. My mom just sat there watching, caught between her best friend and her son, helpless. I left the room. I was done. When Rachel came back after the wedding, she made these cutting remarks about how I would have been in the photos if I'd actually shown up. Like I'd missed out on being immortalized in Ellen's wedding album. Like my presence mattered that much. Like I owed them something. I didn't respond. I just went back to my room and waited for her to leave. But here's what's been eating at me for 11 years. Was I wrong? Was I selfish for setting that boundary? My mom supported me, but I can still hear Rachel's voice, that disappointment, that judgment. She made me feel like I'd let down a family I barely knew because I was too anxious or too socially awkward to push through it. Ellen's nice, sure, but we're strangers. She probably didn't even notice I wasn't there. And yet, Rachel made me feel guilty anyway. She made me question whether I was just being difficult, whether I should have forced myself into that situation just to make someone else happy, whether my own mental health and comfort were actually less important than appearances and family obligation. Was I justified, or was I just a selfish kid who couldn't handle one night of discomfort? Now I'm 30 looking back and I still don't have a clean answer. Part of me thinks I was completely right. I didn't know these people. I expressed legitimate anxiety. My mom backed me up, end of story. But another part of me wonders if Rachel saw something I didn't. Maybe Ellen actually wanted me there, and I'll never know. Maybe I was supposed to push through it and grow from the experience. Maybe that's what being part of a family means, showing up even when it's hard, especially for people your parent loves. But here's what really gets me. Rachel weaponized guilt. She didn't respect my boundary. She pushed, argued, and then made those comments after the wedding to make sure I knew I'd failed somehow. So was I the asshole for not going, or was she the asshole for not accepting my answer and trying to manipulate me into compliance anyway? Who was really being selfish here?